Amigo, vamos a robar un poco de content. Hay un video en YouTube, ¿ah? Hay un video en YouTube que se llama 100 tips avanzados en Rust para 2025. Vamos a verlo porque, man, fuera de juego que en estos videos hay muchas veces que hay como cosas que no sabemos, boludo. Este es el video, miren. 100 tips avanzados para Rust 2025. De principiante a pro. Vamos a ver cuántos tips conocemos y cuántos no, boludo. Les digo que yo vi una vez un video de esto y habían una banda que no sabía, boludo. Son tipo bugs y cosas así que capaz que no sabes. Así que nada, vamos a verlo, ya que estoy al pedo.
Tips and tricks in Rust that will bring your gameplay to the next level. From the most basic and essential tips for beginners to some of the most unique and surprising tricks that even pro players don't know. If you attach an industrial adapter to a box in your loot room, you'll be able to spy through the ceiling and see what's going on around your base while being completely safe.
Eso
you
sí
can
lo
hide
sabía.
your sleeping bag inside the ceiling. To do this, build a triangle foundation with a half wall and add 3 ceilings above it. Next, build another triangle in front of the first one, but make it higher. Jump on this foundation. As you can see, I can adjust the height at which I place the sleeping bag, so I can fit it completely into the ceiling, just like this. From the outside, this sleeping bag will not be visible from the top or bottom, so it will be impossible to break it. As you know, once you've blown a door, you can't put another door back in place, because of this block that's blocking the passage. However, this doesn't work with windows. After the explosion, no block will appear in place of the window, so you can immediately put a new window in place. If you want to make an...
¿Y eso de qué mierda sirve? ¿Para qué puso eso? ¿Qué tiene que ver que con una puerta sí pasa pero con una ventana no? ¿Qué vas a poner, ventana en vez de puerta por todos lados? No entiendo, boludo.
usual shooting floor, you can use a small box. If you put it normally, there won't be any gaps at the bottom. However, you can raise it slightly above the window, creating a gap at the bottom, through which you can shoot your enemies. You can place the locker inside the airlock and it won't block the passage. All you need to do is rotate all the walls and doorways so that the hard side faces inwards. Lean your back against the corner behind you and place the locker in front of you as close to the wall as possible. Pick up the front door, place it outwards, and that's it. You can build the roof on top of the ramp.
Lo malo de eso es que no te queda airlock. Es lo malo. O sea, si pones esa...
To cover the passage,
si pones como es el locker
inside the base. Because of this roof, it will be impossible to get inside, which will make it more difficult for your enemies. By the way, it's impossible to put a box or sleeping bag on this roof from below, but if you climb to the top, you can easily place several large boxes and a sleeping bag.
Man, ¿qué sentido tiene eso? ¿Qué puto sentido tiene que desde abajo no te deje y desde arriba sí?
From here. This will help you save a lot of space inside your base.
Mira eso, boludo. Eso no sabía, boludo, ¿ves? Eso no lo sabía.
You can attach small signs to the window bars to make it harder to hit you from the outside. Plus, it's much easier and cheaper than doing pixel gaps or building some complicated shooting floors. If you need to build your base quickly, keep the resource you're upgrading to and put away the rest. When going for the first upgrade, press and hold left click down when selecting the material. With the left click held down, go around and right click on all the pieces you want to upgrade. This will allow you to upgrade your base almost instantly. You can hide the gun trap behind it.
Yo veo que hay gente que usa eso y me parece realmente al pedo, boludo, porque... Amigo, ¿me va a decir que te cuesta apretar el clic derecho y moverlo para la derecha, man? O sea, literalmente hasta se ve incómodo hacer eso. Yo prefiero mucho más construir normal y lo construyo rápido.
A twig wall and a twig wall behind wallpaper inside your base. It's a very cheap and simple, but unexpected.
¿Mirá eso? Clave, boludo. Ponés la pared de paja, una trampa atrás y le pones una mierda esa y... de las paredes, boludo, y dispara. Como es de paja, boludo, dispara esto. Entonces podés hacer una mini trampa, por así decirlo. Son cosas que yo no uso, porque la verdad que me da paja hacer esas cosas, pero puede llegar a servir.
After that, half of the wall will disappear, allowing you to attach the gun trap to the far wall so that it sticks out. Now, if you remove the roof and cover everything with ceilings and walls, you will get...
Mira eso, amigo. Ay, Dios. Ay, ay, ay. Y después nos preguntamos por qué se nos caen los pelos, nos wipe, amigo. Por culpa de este chabón, boludo. Es por culpa del Stelic este. Qué hijo de puta que es, boludo. Qué chupaverga, hermano. No, no.
The deadliest trap. If you get raided, you will definitely lose your workbench if enemies gain access to your TC. But if you attach a voice recorder under your workbench and hide it behind a small box, it will be impossible to pick up this workbench with a hammer, even if your enemies have access to your TC. If you play...
Igual eso es una estupidez, boludo. Eso ya lo sabía, pero es una estupidez. Si no se puede piquear, vas a remover todo lo que pueda hasta ver por qué es, boludo. No te vas a ir sin piquearla.
Place the foundation over the bushes near Oasis, they won't disappear. This means you can bring back the good old...
Y, man, hace poco, en el wipe mensual que estaba jugando, morí por torretas de esta, boludo. Mirá eso. Qué asco,
trap with a
boludo.
turret in the bushes, and that turret will be hard to see, especially from far away. If you didn't place the TC as close to the back walls as possible, and now you can't build the shelf because of that, instead of spending a bunch of time to break the TC, you can simply rotate it. In this case, its texture will become smaller, and you can build the shelf as usual.
Eso no lo sabía y está bueno, ¿eh? Ya saben, ahí aprendieron. No sé si lo sabían alguno, pero para los que no lo sabían, es bueno eso.
So, if you rotate the walls, they will take up less space, which will allow you to place boxes inside the base more easily. You can place a large wall over the foundation, which can be very useful when building a gatehouse. If you know someone is waiting for you near
Ahora,
the
eso
base
para qué
more
mierda,
easily, you can place a large wall over the walls, they will take up less space, which will allow you to place boxes inside the base more
Eso sí,
easily.
si lo pones del lado bueno, boludo, ocupa menos lugar, pero ¿esto para qué?
You can place a large wall over the foundation, which can be very useful when building a gatehouse.
Eso no entendí. ¿De qué sirve eso?
If you know someone is waiting for you near your door, just attach some wooden signs to the doorway. This will allow you to open the door safely, because the signs will block the passage. If you don't have any wood to craft signs, you can use rocks, or any unnecessary components if you have them. You can hide the wires completely inside.
La verdad que los cosos de madera es de al pedo porque lo rompes en un pedo. Pero ese cosito de luz, la luz roja, ese sí sirve porque gastan una banda en romperlo.
Your base. To do this, hold down the shift key and scroll the mouse wheel down. As you can see, the wire is now hidden under the foundation, making it completely invisible. If you attach a large sign to a wooden or a stone wall, it will be impossible to attach a ladder to this wall. You can also place some items on top of the stone wall, such as furnace, a gun trap.
A ver, esto es un tip de mierda lo de esto. Esto se rompe muy fácil, boludo. Los cosos estos de madera se rompen muy fáciles, boludo. O sea, ¿qué le va a costar a alguien agarrar un hacha y romper eso, boludo? Para poner la escalera, o sea, es medio al pedo. ¿Qué te ahorra, boludo? ¿Un minuto?
Or a small box. This is the anti-door camper system that every player needs in their base.
Anti-door camper.
It works with a single button, siren light and footstep sensor, and doesn't require electricity. If someone is outside your door, the siren will turn on after you press the button. To make this system, place the sensor in the corner of your airlock as far away as possible. Next, place a button and a siren light inside your base. Connect the button to the sensor and the sensor to the siren, and that's it. Now
Amigo, es re fácil hacer eso, boludo. No necesitas nada, batería, no necesitas nada, man. La luz, el botón y el sensor. Ya está. Y después al apretar el botón... Si apretás el botón y prende la luz es porque hay alguien afuera.
You can place small boxes on top of the vending machines if you don't have a lot of space in the loot room. You can fit an oil refinery inside the regular 2x1. To do this, find the flat surface, remove one of the foundations, and put an oil refinery in its place. It will be impossible to see from the outside that there is no foundation, so you'll be safe. You can easily steal loot from a vending machine bunker without having access to the TC using just a bicycle.
Dale, oh. Voy a agarrar una bici y la voy a tepear para arriba. La voy a tepear. La voy a tepear al techo y voy a...
All you have to do is just ride your bike between the vending machine and the wall.
Igual, o sea, es algo que no sabía. Zarpado que con la bici sí podés pasar. La única que, imagínate que, por ejemplo, en un techo de una casa que raidees están las vending machines, ¿no? La única forma que veo que capaz que podés llevar la bici para ahí es con un globo. O sea, te subís con la bici al globo, que supongo que sí se puede, ¿no? Pasarla. Y con el globo caes arriba del techo y con la bici haces eso. Pero claro, tenés que tener un globo, tenés que tener la bici, o sea, es un viaje también. Con rampas. Pero amigo, o sea, yo te hablo de que imagínate si es una casa grande. O sea, las que tienen las vending machines así son casas que tienen externals y todo eso, o sea, y tienen las vending machines hacia arriba. Entonces no podés construir rampas y subir la bici. Más te vas a tardar subiendo la bici que tirando 16 rockets. Bueno, no sé si tanto, boludo. Si te quedaste sin rockets y la única que te queda es esa, tenés que buscar la forma de picarlo o de subir la bici para arriba. No sabía, boludo.
And you can open it without spending any explosives or having access to the TC. And to get this bug to the roof, just use a scrap heli.
Ah, ahí te
If you
dice.
place a computer station next to the
Con un
rock,
scrap heli la
open
puedes
an
subir.
all-rig camera and then exit it, you can see what your enemy's base looks like from the inside. If you need to go down a tunnel and you don't have a torch, you can use the
Si querés rayar la casa de tu vecino, poner la computadora esa afuera de la base y listo. Ves para dentro de la base. Es literalmente poner una computadora de esa afuera, poner el comando de la oil rig, te salís y ves para dentro de la base. O sea, sabés exactamente cómo es la base por dentro.
enemy's base looks like from the inside. If you need to go down a tunnel and you don't have a torch, you can use the building plan. Just select the roof.
Eso
and
lo
you'll
hice el
be
otro
able
día.
to see the edges of the
Cuando te metés ahí adentro y no se ve un culo, vos con un plano, boludo, poniendo esto, ves los edges, ¿ves? Ves el agujero. Entonces vos sabés bien cómo por dónde estás yendo y no te chocas contra la pared.
tunnel, allowing you to run in the right direction. If you want to make a cargo
Lo
protection
hice
a
el otro
little
día eso.
easier, you can use some ladders. All you need to do is climb out using the ladder at the bottom, close the door, and attach your ladder to the top. And repeat the same with other entrances. Now your ladder will block the entrance, making it impossible to get in until your enemy breaks the ladder. You can fish right in the bandit camp in complete safety. Of course, you won't be able to catch a shark here, but you can still get some scrap by trading this fish in the fishing village. If you don't want to use a red card every time you get to the launch site, you can use a regular bike. If you leave it in the right place in the room on the right, you'll be able to get on the bike through the window while outside.
O sea que necesitas la tarjeta. Por primera vez necesitas la tarjeta. Metes una moto. La dejas ahí en la ventana. Y ya después no necesitas tarjeta de vuelta para volver a entrar. Vas por la moto y te metes de una.
To do this, go inside the launch site through the back entrance. There should be a blue container on the right side. Next, get on the bike and ride it into the room on the right. Here you need to pick up speed and drive on the ledge as high as possible so that your front wheel touches the window. And that's it. Now you can easily get on this bike from the outside. You can steal loot from a recycler through a window in the mining outpost. You can make the boat completely silent. To do this, instead of holding down W button,
A ver, dice que podés hacer el bote que no haga ruido.
just stop it over and over again. In this case, you'll be able to drive at high speed.
¿Qué?
You can make the boat completely silent. To do this, instead of holding down W button, just stop it over and over again. In this case, you'll be able to drive at high speed, completely silently. If you want to sneak up on
O sea, lo que dijo en pocas palabras es que en vez de mantener la W apretada, que lo sueltes la W y la vuelvas a apretar muchas veces, soltala, apretala, soltala, hasta que en un momento ya no hace ruido. Eso hay que ver si realmente funciona, porque ni siquiera lo mostró.
holding down W button, just stop it over and over again. In this case, you'll be able to drive at high speed, completely silently.
No sé si eso funciona realmente, ¿eh?
If you want to sneak up on someone on the beach, instead of pressing Ctrl, just jump. Jumping on the beach is completely silent, so you can move quickly and quietly.
No es
Hold-
completely silent igual, ¿eh? Hace algo de ruido.
Holding shift and have a loot will change skin for every scene in your inventory.
Ve, ahí lo
Completely
dijo.
silent, so you can move quickly and
Esto es lo que el otro día intenté.
quietly. Holding shift and have a loot will change skin for every scene in your inventory to the last skin you used. You can ping different objects directly from the drone, and other members of your team will also see these tags. Just imagine how you can control the recycler using this trick, because it's practically a legal wall hack. And this trick helped me piss off a clan that
¿Qué
was
estoy
getting
viendo,
in my
boludo?
way. Obviously, you can't raid a huge clan alone, but you can annoy them by reducing FPS on the entire server. To do this, you need to put a bunch of kayaks on the water
Esto ya es
in
muy
one
tóxico,
place.
amigo.
Because of the waves, the physics will break and the game will stutter as well as the server itself. And this trick will save you a lot of time after you've climbed onto the roof of the launch site. If you go to the building at the back right of the
Amigo, el chabón dice, raidear un clan solo es prácticamente imposible. Para joderlos, poné muchos de esto en el agua y por las olas va a hacer que tenga menos FPS.
you need to
Amigo,
put a bunch of kayaks on the water in one place. Because of the waves, the physics will break and the game will stutter as well as the server itself. And this trick will save you a lot of time after you've climbed onto the roof of the launch
Yo
site.
creo que esto más que trucos son todos los bugs del juego, ¿no?
If you go to the building at the back right of the launch site, jump and bump into the wall as I show you, you can go down in a few seconds without taking any fall damage. The same trick can be applied on the sphere. First, you have to find the beam on the side, get full speed, jump down and touch the tank from below. As you can see, I took no damage. If you place a can alarm inside your base and run the wire outside through the doorway, every time someone walks by your door, you'll hear it immediately.
¿Cuál tenés que poner ahí?
Inside your base.
El coso ese se craftea, ¿no? El cosito ese.
Outside through the doorway. Every time someone walks along and touch the tank from below. As you can see, I took no damage. If you place a can alarm inside your base and run the wire outside through the doorway, every time someone walks by your door, you'll hear it immediately. And best of all, when you close the door, the wire doesn't disappear and is practically invisible. If you want to check if there is someone in the red room on the large oil rig, you can do it from below by jumping on this barrel. From here, you can see through the floor to almost the entire red room and even the crate itself, giving you the information you need and a huge advantage over your enemies. Binoculars are a very useful item. And you can do it from below by jumping on this barrel. From here, you can see through the floor to almost the entire red room and even the crate itself, giving you the...
Mira, eso cuando estás haciendo counter oil, te pones por ahí abajo y ves si hay alguien ahí adentro. Puedes ver todo.
And a huge advantage over your enemies. Binoculars are a very useful item. Not only you can check from afar what's going on at the oil rig or other monuments, but you can also see other players underwater. Bicycles...
¿Qué? Si apuntás con binoculares al agua, ¿te sale el puntito? ¿De si hay gente? O sea que literalmente llevar esto a la oil rig es OP. Literalmente es OP porque llevas esto y apuntás para abajo y sabes si te viene alguien o no.
You can also see other players underwater. Bicycles are designed to protect you from a fall from any height. For example, you can use a bicycle to get inside the cave without using the elevator. The key is to do it slowly, so you don't get thrown off the bike. If you found the horse right after the wipe and you want to save it, place the shelter as high as possible and drive your horse inside. Usually, only the head will go in, but that will be enough. After you close the door, the horse will be stuck inside.
Amigo, lo tienen que banear a este tipo, amigo. Banéenlo a la mierda, boludo. Tienen que banearlo a la mierda del juego.
As long as the door is closed, the horse...
Ok, si lo pones bien alto el shelter y metes la cabeza del caballo para adentro y cerrar la puerta, ya no se puede agarrar. No lo puedes agarrar.
Cannot be used. As you know, 556 ammo is a tier 2 blueprint, but you can save 500 scrap just by crafting the mixing table on the first workbench. And now you can make 556 ammo in it without a second workbench. You can put 2
¿Qué acabo de escuchar?
Scrap just by crafting the mixing table.
¿Qué?
Is a tier 2 blueprint, but you can save 500 scrap just by crafting the mixing table on the first workbench. And now you can make 556...
Eso es mentira, ¿no? O sea que no necesitas la level 2 para hacer esas balas. Es verdad, amigo. ¿Cómo nunca lo pensé, boludo? No necesitas tener la level 2. Si tenés el BP, crafteás una de esas y ya está. Pero craftear una mixing table es level 1, ¿no? ¿Es level 1 o level 2 la mixing table?
Blueprint, but you can save 500, you know, just by crafting the mixing table on the first workbench.
Es level 1. Mirá vos, ¿alguien del chat lo sabía eso? ¿Sabía? O sea, ¿lo han hecho eso de craftear las balas ahí sin tener level 2?
You can make 556 ammo in it without a second workbench. You can put 2 workbenches next to the door on the tugboat to create an airlock and add some extra protection.
Yo nunca lo hice, ¿eh?
Also, you can put the rocks...
Igualmente, como que no siento que nunca tuve la necesidad de hacerlo. Capaz que es por eso. Como que si no tengo level 2, tampoco tengo el rifle, boludo. Repete, ¿no? Pero no sé, boludo. Capaz que es porque nunca tuve la necesidad, boludo.
So if anyone tries to look into your tugboat, they can't see anything. If you are out of fuel, you can place 2 barracks just like this, and you'll be able to push the tugboat. you'll be moving pretty slow. But it's better than nothing and can't see anything. If you are out of fuel, you can place 2 bear rocks just like this, and you'll be able to push the tugboat. You'll be moving pretty slow, but it's better than nothing.
O sea que poniendo los cosos de oso ahí, no es necesario que te bajes del barco para empujarlo.
Do you know
Con los cosos del oso eso lo puede empujar desde arriba.
that you can actually see through a double doors in Rust? On the sides of any double doors, there's a gap through which you can easily see what's inside. If you're ever flying a mini
¿Qué acabo de ver?
there's a gap and actually you'll be moving pretty slow, but it's better than nothing. Did you know that you can actually see through a double doors in Rust? On the sides of any double doors, there's a gap through which you can easily see what's inside. If you're ever flying
Ese medio pija, pero bueno.
a minicopter around the map and you need to land quickly, one thing you can do is to crash into a chain link fences around the map. For some reason, crashing into fences won't damage your copter.
Eso lo sabía.
By changing just one setting in the game's options, you can see through the ceiling of the supermarket. Go to graphic settings and change the object quality to 0. As you can see, the glass texture is now
Este tip lo saben los potato graphics,
transparent, which will give you a huge advantage over other players, because you'll be able to see them through the ceiling. Also, at a small oil rig, you can find walls just like this one, and if you change your object quality to 0, you can see and shoot right through them.
¿Qué? ¿Podés disparar a través de eso?
Setting is max shadow
O sea que usar el object quality al mínimo está OP.
lights. As
Literalmente está
you
OP.
can see, having max shadow light set to 0 can help you see things in the dark. And the next
Max Shadow Lights al 0. Ahora me voy a fijar cómo tengo yo eso.
you can see, having max shadow light set to 0 can help you see things in the dark.
Dale, igual acá tiene un ¿Qué es ese ejemplo de mierda, amigo? Si acá hay un campfire prendido y acá no.
And the next setting you're gonna want to change is max gaps.
Para mí que robó fuerte en ese, ¿eh?
The higher this setting is, the more debris you'll see when you break and building objects, so you should set it to 0. The next setting you need to change is grass displacement, as when it turns on, it's way easier to see dropped weapons on the floor. When it rains, you can't hear anything. To fix that, go to settings, then to audio, and go over the speaker config. Change it to mono, and then change it back to whatever it was. This will disable all ambient sounds in the game, including the rain sound. With this bind, you can make the game more convenient. I'll leave this comment in the comments below, so you can just copy it. Now when you press one button, you can change your hands from left.
Ese antes yo lo usaba mucho, boludo. Pero ahora no tengo tecla. No tengo una tecla que me quede cómodo para usar eso. Para cambiar el arma de mano. Literal, tengo todas las teclas usadas, boludo. Pensé y todo cuál puedo usar. Me gustaría usar el botón del mouse, pero no se puede, boludo. Usar el botón del costado del mouse.
Left to right, which will help you if you are picking from the corner, for example, to give you a better view. Sometimes, upgrading your base may not go as smoothly as you would like it to go. For example, I can easily reach the walls on the sides of the TC, but I can't reach the ceiling or foundation in this triangle. To fix this, just press F1 and write client look at radius 0.01 in the console. Now
Bueno,
you
ese
can
sí ya lo
easily reach
sabemos.
both the foundation and the ceiling to upgrade them. If you don't like the red color that indicates the building zone, you can easily change it. To do this, press Escape, go to Options and open Accessibility tab. Here you need to find this setting and change its color to blue, pink or yellow. If you're ever farming trees at night, it can be quite hard to see the red X.
A ver qué hace
One thing
ahora.
that you can do is change the tree marker color from red to orange. And as you can see, the X is way easier to see. If you throw a stone axe at a teammate's head, you won't be able to damage him while you're shooting the axe. If you've been afraid to use the recycle on the launch side, I'll show you how to do it safely. All you need for this is barricades. Just place them on this
Ahora, acá acabo de ver, o sea, si le pegas un hachazo,
Whenever you use the night vision
si le pegas un hachazo a
goggles,
uno,
safely. All you need, if you've been stone axe to orange, a teammate's head, you
si le pegas un hachazo a un chabón, no le podés hacer daño si te pegan el hacha. O sea que sería muy OP, antes de salir a PvPear, pedirle a tu compañero que te clave 20 hachas en la cabeza. Y si se puede en todo el cuerpo también, te crafteas unas 40 hachas. Y le pedís, boludo, que te las clave por todo el cuerpo, boludo. 5 en la cabeza, sin con las tetas, por todos lados. Y literalmente los chabones te van a cagar a tiro y no te va a hacer casi daño, boludo. Habrá que probarlo eso,
Shooting the eggs. If you've been afraid to use the recycle on the launch side, I'll show you how to do it safely. All you need for this is barricades. Just place them on this ledge and they will stick to it. Whenever you use the night vision goggles, there's always this annoying sound. To get rid of it, all you have to do is use any emotion, and just like that, the sound is gone. Barricades can be placed directly from inside the car without having to go outside.
¿Y lo sabía ese?
From this spot, you can throw a Molotov as I show, and it will burn through the ceiling, and it does a lot of damage, so it will be very difficult to react. You can use a torch or a fire arrow to see other players through the smoke. If you ever need to hide a bunch of loot really quickly, one thing you can do is place a small box inside of a node, and then you can hide your loot in it. As long as no one breaks this node, your loot should be safe. And if you have a backpack, you can just drop it on the ground and cover it with a foundation. Now let me show you some console commands that will definitely improve your game and give you a huge advantage over other players.
Eso de esconder el cofre adentro de la roca no está mal, Si te están por matar, tener un cofre ahí listo, y lo pones ahí rápido, si no se dan cuenta salvas todo el loot, no está mal esa.
The first command will allow you to see everything that happens around you after you die. If you type kill into the console after using this command, you can press escape and see everything that's going on around you in real time. Every time you use the binoculars, you get a black screen around the lenses, which is really annoying. But if you use this command, magic happens. By the way, I'll leave all the comments in the comments below, so you can just
Eso remueve lo negro de los costados.
It's even more helpful, as it removes the black overlay around the edges of the heavy helmet.
Este remueve lo del heavy helmet, o sea, podés usar el casco en que se vea.
Removes the overlay, but this time for all scopes. You can stop any train with a few barricades. Using this method, you can make an unexpected trap. Here are a few red spots near the recycler to surprise your enemies. In mining outpost, run to the forklift and hide behind it. As soon as you hear the recycler, take a compound boat and pick to the left. This will be the easiest.
Está como para hacer esa, agarrar un compound de eso. Esa la voy a aplicar ahora en el wipe, que viene. ¿Qué hace Espinito? ¿Cómo andamos?
Your life. In satellite dish, jump on top of this brown box next to the recycler. Fall into this gap and look down. As you can see, it's impossible to spot you from the outside. Now let's move to the gas station. Go to the back of the store, climb up the ladder and head to this corner. Next, fall directly into this bush on top of the fence. From here, you can control the main entrance to the recycler while being almost impossible to spot. The next one is my favorite monument. It's a lighthouse.
Es my favorite monument. Es el favorito de él.
Here you'll need a compound bow again. What you need to do is hide behind this box, and anyone who jumps in here will most likely not be able to see you, especially if you don't have anything on your back. And finally, there is a very cool spot on the harbor, from where you can control the entire monument. You need to find this building. On the left side, you will see tires. Jump on them and ask your teammate to stand next to the wall, so you can jump on the roof. From here, you have a view of the entire monument, including the recycler, which is right below you. What was the most helpful tip in this video? Write about it in the...
Ok, no sé si soy el único que ya se olvidó de todos. Literalmente no me acuerdo de nada. Creo que el único que me quedó así en la cabeza es el de la bicicleta, boludo. Que lo tenés que subir con el Scrappy al techo, boludo, para ver la vending machine.